Yeah, hey, happy March. Yesterday was St. Patty's Day. I'm not Irish, so anyway, I've been gone for a minute and I've been thinking about this topic for a while, long time. It's basically to discuss the importance of owning your narrative. This Sunday we have the Oscars, and if you know, it's a very contentious race with a lot of no pun intended, with a lot of the runner-ups. We have Michael B. Jordan, we have Timothy Chalamet, we have Chase Infinity, Delroy Lindo. Like there's so many people that are being nominated, and I just want to focus on the cast from Sinners and the monumental success that movie has had. Every single actor in Sinners, every single role that they had before Sinners, they've chosen those roles specifically. They've chosen those roles because they exemplified strength, they exemplified integrity, they exemplified knowing yourself or the attempt to knowing yourself. And I feel last year the success of Sinners was up against such a huge hill to climb. Ryan Coogler, the phenomenal director, writer of Sinners, you know his works. He took a gamble. He took a gamble on himself, and he won. He's always taking gambles on himself. He's always aligned himself with people who he trusts, who he knows that can outline his vision, and that support his narrative, that support who he is, and he in turn supports them. The long and short of this is the reason why I say it's important to owning your narrative, because once you know who you are, once you know your story, once you know what you're capable of, despite all the naysayers, despite all the people saying Sinners will not make a lot of money, despite people thinking that Ryan Coogler didn't even deserve to own the rights to the thing that he created. When you are comfortable and assured in your own skin, it shows. And I want Michael B. Jordan to win Best Actor. I feel he's done so much, not only for the craft of acting, just for young black men. Um, I haven't seen him in any trouble. He's had a couple of things here and there, but there's nothing that warranted inspection to like illegal degrees. He's always done his best work. He's always led his best life. He's never been problematic. Same with Delroy Lindo. He's worked for over 30 years in Hollywood. He's acted. He's done theater. The man is a legend, and he deserves his flowers. He's always been there for key directors, and it's time that the industry respect him and put respect on his name. Wumi Masako, there's nothing I can say that it just pale in comparison. She's beautiful, but she's incredibly talented. When I saw her in Lovecraft Country, I was like, wow, I can't really take my eyes off, her. But it's just the power in her skill set. The way she had a commanding presence. She may not have had a lot of screen time, but when she was on screen, your eyes locked to her, and her career has blossomed from that. There's so many other actors and actors that can go around, but I want to focus on Sinners because it's one of my favorite movies, and it's one of my favorites because it has integrity, because it wasn't scared to tell you the history of being black in the South, the history of jazz music, which black people created, the history of the Asian community working alongside black people in the same community. We didn't really know about that history, even though it was always in the books. He brought that to the forefront. There's so much I want to say, but I want to kind of wrap it up by saying, if you don't know who you are, the world is going to decide for you. And people like Ryan Coogler, like Michael B. Jordan, like Wumi Masako, like Delroy Lindo, they know who they are. and it's time that the Academy respects them for the amount of work, the body of work that they provided. Sinners was a cultural landmark. Ryan Coogler, that's all he does. That's all he does. He has his finger on the pulse to so much of what the culture needs. You see people dress up as their favorite characters, as Smoke and Stack, and it's one of my favorite movies from him. And it's one of my favorite because I love horror movies, I love history, I love music, and he intertwined them all beautifully with the message without sounding preachy, you know. I know this video is kind of like all over the place, and my main theme is it is very important to know who you are, or at least try to know who you are. That way no one can take it from you. You know, you may not be the prettiest, you may not be the tallest, you may not be the skinniest, you may not be these things, but if you know what you can provide and what you can do, the world will respond. And like I said, the awards, Oscar awards, are tonight, and I want everyone black to win. I know that sounds problematic, but I don't care. We have a history of being shafted in the Academy, and what this current 3 to 5 years has done, it's been very taxing. It's been very taxing for black people, and I feel a win for Sinners, for the cast of Sinners. It wouldn't fix the problems, but it would just show that we're here, we'll always be here, and we deserve to be here. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. And like I said, another thing I want to kind of add, if I don't want to put it out in the universe, but if Sinners doesn't win, if one battle after another, or whatever movie Timothée Chalamet's in happens to win, I don't want us to get discouraged. You don't really need an award to validate your presence, what you mean. It helps, but I feel your performance speaks for itself. People will remember your performance long after the award has been given. Some people win awards and they never do anything else. They never get to the same heights of where they were when they won that award. Some awards are just handed out just for biases. But I think this award season specifically is very, very personal, and it means a lot. And I just hope, the ancestors, bless the cast and crew and make sure that they get what they deserve, And that's all anybody wants, You want to be rewarded for doing great work, and a lot of times you're not. But like I said, if you know yourself, if you know your worth, if you know what you're capable of, you don't really need an award. You are the reward. All right. So that's all I got. Sorry I've been gone so long. I've been working, paying bills, and not been in a great mindset to record a video. Those who have stuck with me, I really, really appreciate you. Bless you for your patience. I do plan on doing more videos. But yeah, sometimes you got to take a break. Sometimes you got to take several breaks. Get your mind right, get things right. So anyway, if you like what I had to say, feel free to like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. And enjoy your weekend or day. All right.